recording.
Okay. So before I met Mike Christ, I hadn't met anybody who knew about an old preacher called Walter Marshall, who has a lovely book on sanctification called The Gospel Mystery of Sanctification. And meeting him when he came to Kenya for the Proclaim conference and learning that he actually did his PhD on that, we just hit it off and became friends. And for the week that he was here and I got to spend more time with him, I had been tasked to drive him around and to show him around and expose him to the work that is happening in Nairobi. And I got to know much more keenly the ministry that he's involved in. I have to say that my heart went out both for the man and for the work that he hopes to do in Africa. In fact, and I say this tongue in cheek, we are praying that he moves from Zambia and comes to Kenya. But I think that the work that Mike is doing and that people like Mike might want to come to do in countries in Africa is very needed. And I think that oftentimes people think that if you're coming to train Africans in theology, you don't need to pitch things really high. You need to, quote unquote, dumb things down for the Africans. I think it is unwise to do that because most of the people in Africa, most of the people I know, the people who are seeking theological education are actually learning these things from the people who write the books. So I know friends who read serious tomes. I have a friend right now who's reading Stephen Charnock on the attributes of God. There's a young man in our church who's reading Bavinck, the Magnalia Dei. I know a friend who is working through, a classical view of man, and we need the people who we are reading from. We would desire to learn from those people as opposed to the students or the students of the students of those people. So I think that for Mike to come, who is a PhD from Westminster and who's been a pastor as well, I think the kind of quality that this brother is bringing to a man like us is indeed the kind of seminary training that I think we need. And I would encourage our brothers in the West who desire to raise and train up pastors in Kenya to have that view in mind, that you're coming to your peers, you're coming to a church of Christ, and the enemy is as subtle here as he is there, and we need the truth as precisely here as you have it there, and let us join and serve the kingdom of Christ side by side as brothers, and particularly in the area of theology and doctrine. So thanks, Mike, for accepting the Lord's will to come minister amongst us, and I would urge others to follow along. It's not as easy for many Kenyans to make the trip, to the UK or to the US. But if the brothers who teach in those places could actually come and teach guys from here, it's more effective because the people here do not have to be removed from the context where they are in. But then it's also cheaper because it's one man traveling to Kenya instead of 20 men from Kenya to travel to Westminster or SBTS or wherever this training is happening. So let us together soldier on and see the kingdom of our Lord come.